The video that you're about to see is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say in this video is alleged. Hey everybody, how are y'all doing today? I hope everybody's doing fine. Welcome to Divinity Beyond Divine. This is my channel. Those of you who are new, remember, please like, share, and subscribe. All right, so today we got something that I want to piggyback up on. It's dealing with the movie The Deliverance. Okay, so I know some of y'all watched it. I know some of y'all didn't watch it. By the way, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say in this video is alleged. Wink, wink. Y'all know how we do here. If y'all want a reading from me, go to dion22ism@gmail.com. Email me. The readings are $30. And ask me a question. I'll get back to you soon. Okay? I know I have some friends out there who want to follow up with me. I will get to you guys soon. I promise. I promise I'll get to you guys soon. So anyways, back to this video. This is not a gossip. Okay? This is actually, we're going to have a deep dive into the movie Deliverance. So there's some things that has been coming up within the weeks when it comes to this movie. There's a lot of controversy going on. And I just want to break it down. I want to see what Spirit says, and I just want to clear up some stuff because there's a lot of rumors going around, a lot of speculation, and I just want to get down to the nitty-gritty of it all. I want to see what is actually going on, okay? So the question is Monique in danger? Now, I know a lot of you guys don't know, but a few years ago, I'm going to say a few years ago because it has been that long, Monique was filming an independent movie called Precious, directed by Lee Daniels. And Monique got an Oscar award.
We're coming. And when people say, Monique, where have you been? It's not that I haven't been on TV or been in the movies because I've been blackballed, as Mr. Daniels has said. The offers just didn't make sense, Dawn. So again, the phones didn't stop ringing and the scripts didn't stop coming, but the offers that were associated with them were offers that made me say, guys, I can't accept that. Because if I accept that and I won the award, what are my sisters being offered that didn't win the award or wasn't nominated? And what does it say to the little girl who's not here yet? That if we continue to accept these low offers, however do we make it different and make a change?
Okay, I want to play this. This was Lee Daniels on this very broadcast last night. Let's listen.
Okay.
We were on the campaign, and she was making unreasonable demands, and and she wasn't thinking. This is when reverse racism, I think, happens. I said you have to thank the producers of the film. You have to thank the studio, and I think she didn't understand that, and I think that and I said, listen, people aren't going to respond well if you don't. So I love her, and I've spoken to her, and she's brilliant. And I like working with brilliant people. But sometimes artists get in their own way. I think that there were demands that were made from her on the Precious campaign that everyone knows about that hurt her, and I told her that.
Can she change that?
I mean, if she plays ball, you got to play ball.
This is
not just show. It's show business, and you've got to play ball.
What's your reaction, Monique? You didn't play the game. You had difficult demands.
I want to address it for the order that it went in. And when Mr. Daniels say I had these demands, it shocked me because I was saying to the screen, Dawn, please ask him what the demands were. And actually, there were no demands. There was a request from the movie studio, and they called and requested that I fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival. I simply said I respectfully declined, because if you can remember at the time, there was a talk show called The Monique Show. I was doing a comedy tour. I was actually award season of the awards, and I'm also a wife, and I'm a mommy. So when they called, I had a couple days just downtime. I wanted to spend that with my husband and my kids. So when we said we respectfully declined, the movie studio called back again. And they said, okay, well, we'll upgrade her hotel room. And my husband simply said again, we respectfully declined. She's gonna take this time with her family.
Yeah.
Well, when the third call came and they said, what is it gonna take to get Monique to France, to the Cannes Film Festival? And my husband said, is there a number associated with it? And they said, oh, we would never pay for anyone to do any promotions for a movie. And we said we understood, because what people didn't know was I was paid $50,000 to do the movie Precious. And it really wasn't about the money, and I'm not complaining because I signed up to do it with my friend.
Yeah. But
So
you're,
when the movie-
you're saying that because you didn't have the money to do this on your own. Is that what you're saying? That you needed to
Well-
feed your family and pay your bills?
I think that's what America says.
Yeah.
I think we all say, I can't do it for free.
Right.
So when the movie studio says we can't set a precedence and pay you to do this, we didn't have an issue with them.
Okay.
But that's when the reports came that now Monique is being demanding and she's being difficult. They had a request, we simply had a request, and they said they couldn't do it, and we said we understood. That was it.
Now, no, Monique is a queen of comedy. She's a stand-up actress, phenomenal comedian. Monique is what you call a triple threat. So Monique has done a lot of movies. Some of y'all seen her in The Parkers, with Kim. Some of y'all have seen her in TV shows like Moesha. Y'all saw her in what's that movie with the plane? Soul Plane. She was in Soul Plane. She was in Fat Girls. She was in a lot of good movies. Deliver Us from Eva. Two could play that game. So the reason I'm doing a reading on Monique is because I was connecting some dots, and I'm gonna break it down to you as you watch the film. So Monique had an issue with Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah Winfrey. Now, we all know about Oprah, right? And we already know what happened with her in The Color Purple and what have you. So there was an issue where they wasn't paying Monique.
Oscar-winning actor and comedian Monique is calling for a boycott of Netflix for gender and racial discrimination, saying she was offered a fraction of what other comics are being paid by the streaming network for comedy specials. Now, she's here to share her story with us today, so please welcome the fabulous Monique. So, Mo, Netflix offered you $500,000 for a comedy special.
Yes.
They reportedly gave Amy Schumer $13 million.
Yes.
Is your issue that Netflix offered Amy more than you, or that you feel they're discriminating against women or women of color? What exactly?
Well, the issue was when I first said, let's boycott Netflix, I said for gender bias and color bias. Mm-hmm. Because when Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle received their offers, mm-hmm. they were $20 million, and they were very public about the offers. Mm-hmm. When Amy Schumer initially received her offer, it was $11 million. Mm-hmm. She went back to Netflix and said, I shouldn't get what the legends are getting, mm-hmm. but because I'm a woman, I should get more. And Netflix agreed, and they then gave her $2 million more. Mm-hmm. That's where the $13 million comes from. So in the discussion with Netflix, Robbie Prohl, who was vice president of comedy, when he was speaking with my husband, Sidney, and our attorney, Ricky Anderson, they were saying, speaking in reference to the deal, and they wanted to know, how did you come up with that number? Mm-hmm. How is it that Monique gets paid $126 less mm-hmm. than Amy Schumer would get mm-hmm. paid? And Robbie Prohl said, well, we go by what we anticipate you'll do. Right. Mm-hmm. So then Sidney said, well, based off of Monique's resume, you see that what she's done. Mm-hmm. I know, but we don't go off of resumes. Mm-hmm. He said, well, then may I ask how you came up with Amy Schumer's number? He said, well, she sold out Madison Square Garden twice, mm-hmm. and she had a hit movie in 2017. Mm-hmm. Sidney then said, is that not Amy Schumer's resume? And then this was the response. Mm-hmm.
Radio silence.
It got dead silent. Mm-hmm. And then he said, we appreciate what you're trying to say. And then they said, well, because Sydney and Attorney Anderson said, well, what is your best offer? Robbie Prohl said, we'll go back and we'll meet with the team. And then we'll come back to you guys.
But Monique, when she sold out two full houses at Madison Square Garden, that means the girl can pull. It's all about asses in the seats.
I totally agree with you.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
That's on her resume. That's what she drew.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
Okay.
And when you look at the resume of Monique, that's asses in the seats.
Okay, well, that's the point. So it's not about the resume. It's about how many people you draw.
The point is,
Yeah.
but it is also about the resume. Because what happens is our finish line keeps changing. And when I say that, Whoopi, as a black woman in Hollywood, see, initially you're told, build up your resume, and that's what'll get the money. Then you build up your resume, and then they'll say, well, you know what, we see the resume, but we'll get them the next time.
All right.
And you never meet your next time. So when it comes to Netflix, and with Amy Schumer and Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, and let me say this, what they got, they were supposed to. I don't have an issue with my sister Amy, nor my brother Dave and Chris. But when the vice president of Netflix says to my husband and our attorney, by the way, Monique is a legend too. Well, if I'm a legend, why wouldn't I get what the legends are getting?
Do you think they underestimated the power of the black dollar?
Well,
Because you say you can fill those seats.
I know they
Are they
underestimate the
underestimating
power
that?
of the black dollar. We see that in our movies, in the theaters that we're given.
Black
we
Panther,
see that
right
That
now.
it's, well, we
Raking
see that,
it in, yeah.
and it's raking it in. And the question I would say is, that's not something that we don't do. Our movies do that when we're giving the proper opportunities.
Okay.
So when it comes to Netflix, and I have to go back to it, when you tell me that you are a legend, and we do know that Monique is great and Monique is funny, then how do you offer me $12.5 million than you offer Amy Schumer and $19.5 million that you offer two men that you say are legends?
Right.
But what
Yes.
you say to
Monique, I'm sorry. We have to say that in a statement to ABC, Netflix says that they don't discuss contract negotiations. But that being said, Wanda Sykes actually came out in support of you, saying that Netflix offered her even half of what they offered you. So what was your reaction when you found that out?
Well, let me say this with Netflix, because they said they can't comment because they're in the middle of negotiations. There are no negotiations. Netflix came back and said, pretty much, you take it or leave it. That's what it is, and we're not willing to negotiate it. When Wanda Sykes came out, I applauded that. And I understand why oftentimes you don't be the first one to come out.
Yeah.
Because it can be a scary place. But then when you know that Wanda Sykes is with the same agent as Dave Chappelle, as Chris Rock, as Amy Schumer, why was Wanda Sykes the only one offered $250,000?
That is suspicious.
That is very suspicious.
Now, let me say something before. We don't have a lot of time.
Big name.
Because this is a more unpleasant question, but I want you to respond to it. Because there are people who think that it's because you have you have a difficult reputation,
Yes.
that you're a bit of a troublemaker.
Yes.
That all started 8 years ago.
Yes.
So what do you say to that?
I say thank you for letting me
That's
speak
why
on
they
it.
didn't want to hire you.
And 8 years ago, I did a movie called Precious. And thank you.
You were quite brilliant in that.
Thank you, baby.
Very good.
And on that film, I received $50,000, and that was not my argument nor my fight, because that's what I signed up for. Once I did all of my obligations, my deal was with a man named Lee Daniels. I did all of my contractual obligations, and I was done. Then when I start getting calls from Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate, and they wanted me to come work for free. They wanted
do what?
to go over to Cannes and promote this film internationally. And I said to them, I said, guys, my deal is with Lee Daniels, and I've done my job. And they all agreed. And this is what happens, in my humble opinion, when you don't go up to the hotel room. See, when I think about those women that
Wait,
said...
I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
Because contractually,
Yes.
when you make a movie, regardless of who you sign the deal with,
Yes.
your job is to go and promote said movie.
Yes.
No. But so when they wanted you to come, and we've had this
Yes, we did.
conversation, and I said if you had called me, I could have schooled you on what was expected.
And when we did have that conversation, and what I said to you, my sweet sister, I said, Whoopi, at what point do we stop saying the next time? Because what was expected...
Wait, what
but I
next
want to answer it, though.
Yeah.
I want to answer when you say
You wanted to
contractual.
get paid for the to do
Please
the
let me answer.
publicity?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Because if I had done something wrong contractually, they would have sued me. The reason why no one could do anything to me contractually, because they found out I did nothing wrong contractually. So when they asked me to come overseas to promote the film, when I said, guys, I'm spending time with my family, I'm gonna pass. Now, when I make this statement, this is what happens when you don't go to the room. What Tyler Perry showed me, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate, when you don't do what we ask you to do, we'll take your livelihood. So for 8 years, my family has suffered and my career has suffered because what I would not allow those entities to do was bully me. And because I didn't allow the bullying to happen, this is now what I sit in.
Okay, we have to go.
Yeah. Shoot. Thanks for coming, Monique.
Yeah.
Thanks
We'll
for
be right
having
back.
me.
So, okay, I'm just going to break it down because I know some of y'all don't really know. But what ended up happening is Monique was doing, and this might be a part 2, so I might have to, it might be longer than what I anticipated on. So Monique was shooting Precious. And during the time shooting Precious, they wanted her to promote the movie overseas. Well, the movie already got an Oscar. The movie already did well box office wise. But they wanted to take it overseas and they wanted to promote it. And this is something I know a lot of you guys don't know because a lot of you guys don't know about the entertainment business. Me, who have a degree in the entertainment business, I understand what is going on. When you shoot a movie, no matter what it is, if you want it to be successful and you want the whole world to see it, you have to promote the movie. It's kind of like, say you doing a hairline or Beyonce's doing her Sir Davis. Speaking of Sir Davis, I'm sorry, I gotta cut to the chase right here. Beyonce, I'm pissed off at you. I know you ain't watching this video. I don't care, but I'm mad at you, Beyonce, because, and I know some of y'all like, damn, this film went left. The reason I'm mad at her because I freaking ordered 2 bottles of Sir Davis, and it tell me it's gonna take 8 months for it to get here. Tell me why. Her birthday just came up, September the 4th. Tell me why the hell she said in stores now. Everybody is advertising a drink on TikTok.
You should get you some. Okay, this is 44%. It's whiskey and it says it has a sherry cask finish. Okay? Let's get up in it. I'm going to tell you now. I don't know nothing about no whiskey, so I'm going to tell you if it's strong to me, baby. I'm talking to. Y'all said it was smooth, too. You gonna pour it on a little ice to be nice, boo. Hold on. Because I ain't trying. Okay. This ain't Texas. Woo! This is liquor. Woo! Put that drain down, 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 down. Listen! Beyonce be drinking, baby. I knew it. Drinking love. We be all night. Baby, I knew it. Sir Davis gonna do it. He gonna damn sure do it, okay? 44%, baby. It's giving 99 if you ask me about it. That thing lit. No, it's not gonna come on Beyonce's internet and not taste test. Hold on 1 second. I had to get do it then. Let's do it. Listen, this is Sir Davis. $89.99. And let me just say, she got security on her liquor, okay? It's in the case. He had to go. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. It's giving upper echelon. You should get you some. Okay, this is 44%. It's whiskey and it says it has a sherry cask finish, okay? Let's get up in it. I'm going to tell you now. I don't know nothing about no whiskey, so I'm going to tell you if it's strong to me, baby. I'm talking to. Y'all said it was smooth, too. You gonna pour it on a little ice to be nice, boo. Hold on. Because I ain't trying. Okay. This ain't Texas. Woo! This is liquor. Woo! Put that drain down, 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 down. Listen! Beyonce be drinking, baby. I knew it. Drinking love. We be all night. Baby, I knew it. Sir Davis gonna do it. He gonna damn sure do it, okay? 44%, baby. It's giving 99 if you ask me about it. That thing lit. Girl, if you can't see it, it got that ice burning. Woo! That ain't nothing to play with. That's for the grown men. Who said, oh, it don't burn going down, but once it get downtown, it's a whole down. Listen, I'm gonna add some lemon sour in it, cause the whiskey sour, it got too much power. Golly, that thing swinging. Woo! Give me a little whiskey sour composed soup. Maybe this for me. You're gonna be drunk instantly. Okay, yeah. Something up in there. I need, okay. Listen what I tell you. Maybe this for me. You're gonna be drunk instantly. Okay, yeah. Something up in there. I need, okay. Listen what I tell you. Okay, I can sip on that. Baby, I don't think you ready for this jelly. This thing is, Beyonce said, she ain't no diva. Please don't talk about me, girl. Hang on. Talking about let me upgrade you. Baby, she upgraded this. You don't need one shot of this shit. Beyonce. Now, it does have a kick, but it get pretty smooth when you mix it. Like, it's not like that burn or like that nasty mix taste. So I actually do like that as a little mix today. But damn, too much of this and you will not be all right. But she said, if you want to, you got the green light. You got the green light, babe. Stop talking to me, Beyonce. I need to be at somebody's saloon. This is the only view. You know what I'm saying? Drink this, you're gonna go from I feel like falling in love to
And here I am, being a loyal customer, a big fan. I gotta wait on my shit. What the hell? I gotta wait. I have to wait while everybody is sipping. Y'all, that is crazy as hell. That is crazy as hell. So anyways, yeah, I wish I could join the party, but hey, it is what it is. So anyways, I'm just mad at you, Beyonce. I mean, get your business skills up. So anyways, moving on from that. So Monique, so whenever you do a movie, you have to take it overseas and you have to promote it. You know, that's what you call good business. So they wanted to take the movie Precious overseas, and what ended up happening is Monique declined. She respectfully declined because what she was trying to say is, why she got to promote the movie? The movie already did its job. But they were saying, and the thing is, they were going to do it for free. They weren't paying Monique. Monique has a family. They weren't paying her. They wanted her to go overseas on a plane that Oprah Winfrey had for her, and they wanted her to shoot the movie, which I allegedly think they were trying to sacrifice her. Because you already know you're worth more dead than alive. So Monique respectfully declined. She didn't want to do it, which I respect that. But it pissed off a lot of people in the film industry, like Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels, because their names are wrapped up around this project. So if you're the big piece of the pie and you decide you don't want to go, you're making everybody look bad. So anyways, long story short, Monique goes, she doesn't want to do it. So now what they end up doing is blackballing Monique. Now Monique done came to the Steve Harvey show. She came and tried to let them know. She came on so many platforms letting the whole world know the situation. But that's the thing. Once you become a threat to Hollywood, you're done. They don't want you no more. Monique started connecting the dots and looking at for what it really is. I even heard that Monique was, when she was on set, I don't know what movie it is, but I'm gonna show it to y'all. Whatever movie this was, I think it was Almost Christmas. When she was shooting that movie, which was her last major film at the time, her trailer got caught on fire.
Remember how Taraji said the trailers were infested?
Yes.
Our trailers blew up.
Oh, he probably will be sick.
Anybody want to call him, man?
He is attached to that dog.
Remember how Taraji said the trailers were infested?
Yes.
Our trailers blew up.
Wow.
They blew up. Now, whenever this airs, I'm gonna post the trailers blowing up so that people can see.
Right.
But they blew up. And if any of us were in those trailers, we would have been gone.
Right.
The trailers blew up. Now, when I was smelling the gas, we went to the brothers that was hooking up the trailers and we said, hey, we smell gas.
Mm-hmm.
They said, Mo, we let him know, talking about the head in charge, we let him know. He just said, okay, and walked away. I said, he what? He just said, okay, and walked away. The trailers blew up. Did Will Packer reach out to anybody? I can't say. He didn't reach out to me and say, hey, is everything okay? Did you lose anything is everything good? The only thing they wanted to know from me was, where was Aunt May's wigs?
Huh?
Where are those wigs? Nobody asked, not the studio, not Will Packer, not nobody.
Wow.
Said, are you good? Did you lose anything?
Right.
I said, the wigs blew up in the explosion.
Right.
So to understand what we have to deal with, and to understand most people are too afraid to say it out loud, that we are being mistreated. This is not right.
Right.
So if that means y'all won't want to play with me, I don't want to play with you either. Let's be clear. I don't want to play with somebody that don't care if I've blown up.
Monique writes a caption under the video saying, hey, my sweet babies, here are our trailers from Almost Ixlamas that I spoke about on Club Shay Shay. Don't take my word. See for yourself. I love us for real.
Oh, he probably will be sick.
Anybody want to call him, man?
He is attached to that dog. Oh my God. Can you imagine if we was in that trailer?
It was bad, huh?
Oh my God. I'm trying to see which one is our trailer. God, I cannot imagine. Hair and makeup is this one in front of us. This, oh, it has, is that Rachel? No.
Yeah, Rachel and Sonia.
Okay, so that's Rachel. That's Gabrielle's.
Now, this was after the movie Precious. Were they trying to kill her? I'm sorry. Were they trying to off her? Allegedly. So now all of a sudden, Lee Daniels comes out. And after Monique cussed everybody out, called them this and that and the third, now Lee Daniels comes out and, remember he was doing the show Empire. Empire was a success until the Jussie Smollett situation happened. Once that situation happened, it ended it for Taraji, Terrence Howard, all of them. It ended their career. They're still doing movies now. I'm not saying their career is done, but they're doing movies. They're doing TV shows and this and that. But at the same time, Empire was supposed to be bigger. It was supposed to be like bigger than Power at one time. So now they got to find new jobs. Lee Daniels knew his ass was grass because a lot of people were speculating at the time too that the whole Jussie Smollett thing was set up and organized by Lee Daniels, who was the director of Empire. So now Lee Daniels is doing, these movies. He did one of the movies I think Monique was in, was a horror movie. I think it was called, what was it called? It was where she played that crazy mom. I forgot the movie, but this movie. So Monique did this movie, and all of a sudden, Lee Daniels had another movie. Now, this movie been in the works for a minute. I believe after she shot that, she was already filming this other movie. Because what I was looking at, I was like, dang. When I saw the premiere of The Deliverance, I was wondering, dang, Monique gained her weight back. Like, what the hell? Is this an old interview clip? Why did she gain her weight back? Because she was losing it. Y'all remember she was losing it. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Follow me. So, Lee Daniels does this interview that I'm about to show you. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. I just want y'all to check out this clip.
One of the things that I read about that I was like, okay, this is deep. You know, nowadays, when there's sex scenes in films, they have an intimacy coach that comes around and makes sure nothing goes wrong. You know, nobody's touching where they shouldn't. But you had like a religious kind of like person on set, the kind of to do deliverances.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Because I read the making of Exorcist. I read the making of what was that Poltergeist, and things happen. Yeah. And I was not going to let things happen on my set, and also I needed it for me, and so we prayed before every. And there's those of us that don't believe in prayer. There were those that don't, and it was still okay. I think, Glenn, we brought you in and we prayed. You prayed, and was that your first time sort of experiencing that sort of experience too?
Praying in a circle on a set?
Yeah.
Yes. With somebody, with a deliverer who spoke in tongues sometime?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
But you would say, okay, we're going to pray now. Anybody want to come? We're going to do it now. You know, so everybody knew what we were doing, and they could choose to come or not, and it didn't matter.
Well, okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Monique.
So Lee didn't tell me that there was someone that was going to come to my trailer.
Oh my goodness.
To pray. So when he came to my trailer, he said, "I'm coming to pray for you." I said, "My husband already does that. I'm good."
Right. You was like, You was
I said, "No, thank you."
No. You was like, "I got Sydney. Don't come over here."
I don't know who this man is.
Right.
Imagine
I
somebody
forgot
saying,
to tell
"I'm
Mo."
gonna come pray for you." I said, "No, you're not."
That's what he came back and said. He said, she said no. Yeah. But it was really beautiful, and I think that we needed it, and it was needed for it was needed.
It was needed for the storytelling too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's deep, dark stuff, and you got to have some kind of release, and you got to have a safe space.
And even with that, there were still things that happened on the set. That was, my sister is in every movie that I've ever done as my good luck charm, and she was in the scene with Glenn in the chemo scene, and she's the one that sort of gave her attitude in the chemo scene. Girly.
Yes, girly, we love her.
And 2 days later, after being in the chemo scene, she was diagnosed with lung cancer.
What?
Literally, my dog died on the set. When we were putting she was spraying the demon out.
Fire extinguisher.
A fire extinguisher. It backfired in her face. It could have put her eye out. It was, and that's with all the prayer that we had.
I had to go to the hospital.
Why,
You
Monique?
did have to go to the hospital. That's right.
Because Mr. Daniels had me doing this scene, okay? And we outside. And it was the demon was supposed to be on top of the building. So they kept blowing Bev, at one point I'm like, Lee, do we have this shit? Because I can't breathe. They kept blowing. He was like, one more time. So when I got finished, right, my thyroid was a big, it was just sick. Oh, baby. I was like, what kind of shit is this? Yeah, so it was a lot of things happening with the deliverance.
Now, you just heard out of Lee Daniels' mouth that his dog died. His sister ended up getting cancer, lung cancer. Monique just got through telling you she had a thyroid problem from a scene that he put her in. How many of y'all watched the film? Huh? How many of y'all watched the film? Did you see that scene Monique played in? I didn't see that film. I didn't see that scene. So why wasn't that scene in the movie? If she went through all of that, why wasn't that scene in the movie? Was that the part of the setup? Are they using Lee Daniels to sacrifice Monique? Because we are going into a spiritual warfare right now. Remember, the last episode we were talking about the demons. And those of you who watched it, I hope you truly believe in Jesus, because you have to believe in Jesus in order to watch this movie. You have to be spiritually strong, because if you're not, it's easy for demons to come your way. Now, a lot of y'all don't understand when I say spiritually strong. If somebody tells you, and I've said this time and time again, if somebody asks you, the devil's going to get you, the devil's in there, if you get scared, something will happen to you, because that's what you believe in. Now, if you told me, you know, I don't think nothing's going to happen to me, I believe in Jesus, I'm good, then nothing's going to happen to you, because that's what you believe in. So you are your own worst enemy. That's why you have to be spiritually strong when it comes to watching horror movies. Don't get me wrong, they're pretty fun to watch. I don't like the gory ones with all the blood and stuff like that. I don't like those movies, like the Saw and all that, Hostel. But I like a Michael Myers, a Jason, you know, every now and then, depending on the gore, you know, level of it all. But those movies are good. So going back to this movie, Monique has an issue with her thyroids. That wasn't part of the script, because it wasn't even in the movie. So was this a setup for Monique? Did they use Lee Daniels to get rid of Monique? We're going to read about it. So, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to this video. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say in this video is alleged.
Thank you all for watching part 1 of this video. To see part 2, click on the next video. Is Monique really a sacrifice? Are Oprah, Tyler, and Lee really trying to get her? We'll see in the next reading. Thank you for watching.